Peace.
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 On a Nube,
Hello,
brother Temu, Asyr Bay,
Islam.
brother Adam X.
Martin Bay.
Brother Temu, Asyr, Martin Bay, brother Adam Stewart X.
Islam.
On the mic, the Ascension Podcast. This is episode 61.
61 of them.
61.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta start doing better introductions. I gotta try to professionalize this outfit, bro.
It's cool.
Yeah. But
It's going to come with time as we're going to be like episode 133.
because all we do is flow. It's just everything we do is flow.
Yeah.
Flow.
Yeah.
So
We just record us talking
that's really what we
with
do.
concepts. That's all the podcast is.
Yeah. But proper introductions and plugs are nice, and letting people know where we can be found on the internet. All of that marketing stuff that people do, it's kind of important.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is the Ascension Lift of God podcast.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram, AscensionXpod, YouTube channel, Ascension the Lift of God. And we are here live with my two dear friends, partners, workers in the kingdom,
Family. Tribe.
family. It's tribe. That's a good one. Thank you. It's tribe. In this hour.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I think it's still Virgo season.
Is it?
I haven't checked, man. I've been riding this wave, and I'm liking it. So I haven't.
I know it's Mercury. Pray. Let's pray.
Oh
I know,
yeah.
I was like,
Thank
we
you, bro.
gotta pray.
No, I knew something was off. Yeah. Thank you,
Something's
brother.
off. The Lord's off.
The Lord is off. Yeah. You want to open us up? Or you want me to do it?
I don't have the classical. I don't know the classical Moorish prayer,
I understand.
but I could talk to the Lord.
Let me open up and you talk to the Lord.
Yeah, go ahead.
man, I want
Open
you-
it up.
Yeah, yes, sir. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the most merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the most merciful, and master of the day of judgment in which we now live. Thee alone do we serve. Thee alone do we beseech for divine aid. Guide us on the right path, the path upon whom thou hast bestowed favors, not upon whom thy wrath has been brought down, nor upon those who go astray. Ameen.
I mean, yeah, I can find it. Hold on, give me 1 second.
You don't want to just pray like a good old fashioned?
No, hold on.
Pop
hold
one
on.
out like your father
Hold
did,
on,
bro.
Hold on.
Okay, yes, sir.
Let me
My Anna, would you like to open, or how do you
No,
feel?
he said he got it.
Okay, well, he ain't got it right this
no,
moment.
give me like literally like I'm about to get it right now.
All right, yes, sir.
It's right here.
It's the more.
the Moorish.
Actually,
prayer.
no, for real.
I can.
No.
Yes, I can pull
Let's
it.
do
It's about to. It's loading right now.
Yes, sir.
I just got to pull it up.
I understand.
Find it right now.
Yes, sir. Is this something that is when you're in a temple? Is it something that is said every time that you're there?
Yeah, it's just how we start the prayer.
Understood. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's how we start. It's how we
I
started
would
off.
like to know.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right here. Yeah. So nah, it's because they have it.
The Lord is waiting.
Yeah, no, it's
Understand?
I think I look bad right now. This is wrong.
Amen.
No, here it goes. Here it goes. It says Allah,
Yes,
the
sir.
Father of the universe, right? The Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation. By night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. I mean,
Yes, sir. No, that was worth the wait.
that's it.
No, facts.
But it's a science to it, and they break down what these words mean.
I understand.
And like, why do we say this prayer to begin our meetings?
I understand.
There is like a understanding of like a psychology
Facts.
of what we are
Yeah.
proclaiming Allah
I understand.
to be and what these words mean.
I understand.
And I can go into that. Y'all want to go into that too?
I mean, if you got bars on it.
You want me to go into that one?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So
I'm into learning.
I mean, if it's there right now.
it says that the beginning part is this affirms Allah. This affirms the oneness of the universe and the oneness of God Allah and who he is as a father. Mind you, that one is talking about, Ra, right?
Yes, sir.
The whole totality of creation,
Yes, sir.
right? And then the second part affirms the divinity of our 5 ancient principles, right? The 5 points.
Do you know what the 5 principles are?
Yeah, like I said, it's the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
Yes, sir.
That's the star,
That's what's up.
right? And then He is my protector. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation. This affirms what He does. He protects, He guides, and He saves by night and by day. This affirms when He does this by night and by day. Through His holy prophet, Juali, this affirms how He's done this for you. And by sending us a divine prophet, Noble Jolie, He has taught us about Himself and ourselves. And and this is the way the person who's praying affirms and basically make that prayer firm. Means to so be it. So it is. It's the declaration of truth.
Yes, sir.
And also, it's
Islam.
Islam.
Yes, sir.
So yeah,
It's powerful.
Yeah.
Anna, you want to open up? I mean, we get 2 out of 3.
Yeah,
I like it when you pray. Yeah, I like it when you pray.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Jehovah God, for this day, for this life, for this breath, for this space, for this exact moment, for every moment. We thank you. We ask that you continue to be with us, watching over us, guiding us, protecting us, loving us. That you speak through us, shine through us. Navigate our words, our thoughts, our movements. And when it gets heavy, continue to remind us that your love is still there and has never left. We thank you again. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Yeah, that was necessary because this week for me has been a very much like gratitude week. Gratitude and humility. And the last episode with Brothers On, it was just literally just saying, just all thanks to God, all thanks to Allah, all the time. And it was perfect timing because me and your boy, we really been killing shit. And right before last week's episode, I was like getting ready to go on a chest beating world tour and like hardcore. I was feeling myself. I still am feeling myself, but now I'm checking it with the remembrance of Allah and always being like all praise is no. All praise is due to Allah, which allows me to operate more effectively because I'm not focused on me. You feel me? It's kind of like the feeling with your first child where like the focus stops being on you, right? But also remembering that instead of the child in this instance, it's Allah who's putting you in position to be successful. And you have that operating psychology of like, okay, thank you, God. And you just keep flowing and keep executing and being successful, which we have been.
Yeah.
This week has been great, right?
For me, definitely. So far,
week
bro.
has been fantastic, bro.
It's had its really highs. It has a couple lows, but it's had its really highs.
Yeah.
A lot of different prospects, a lot of different things manifesting and opening up into reality.
Facts. No, we've had just progress and validation and with the humility of keeping God in mind and just all praise is due to Allah. It what it does for me, it keeps me moving as opposed to like feeling myself and going and looking in the mirror, doing some shit like that. Ego, And even right now, I am more focused than ever, given that, there are things that I could look at right now. I could look at the work that we've done in like flex, but I don't even have that desire. I want to like, right? I want to keep going. Do you have the desire to flex? Like, where are you at right now?
I love flexing.
I know you love flexing,
I flex because I know who we talking to.
Understand?
And I know the psychology of who we talking to.
Who's we in the sense of who are we?
The culture. We're talking to the culture. We're talking to our community. We're talking to our culture. You gotta pop shit.
I understand.
All that humble shit, I respect it, it's needed for when you it's needed when you go home and it's you and you look in the mirror and you definitely all praise due to Allah. It's only Allah. We know what it is. But when I'm outside, man, we get into it.
I feel you, bro.
Cause I stay humble. And niggas don't look. People listen when you pop shit.
I understand.
That's all I'm saying.
So,
I use it for what it is.
I feel you. But when have you been humble and a failure? You know what I'm saying? When has humility not served you? You make it sound like you at one point in your life that you were humble and it sucked. Is that actually true?
Yeah.
When? the Commons Community Garden? When you was actually running shit and doing shit and feeding the people? as you
Bro.
said? Or were you not humble then? Were you popping shit back then?
I was humble.
Okay.
I was definitely humble
Okay.
during that time.
All right, I understand. So
So-
you've just disproved himself by saying, go on.
I have a question. What's our definition? How are we using being humble, and how are we using popping shit?
Okay, for me, being humble means I don't actively go and talk about the things that I'm doing
Okay.
or the things I'm engaged in and the levels that I'm at.
Do you mind if I move this so I can see him? I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Oh, you can't see him? Oh, that's a problem.
Oh no, I can't.
Put on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah, good call.
So popping shit is just reading the resume
ground.
and the accolades
Yeah.
of I look at popping shit as outreach. They go hand in hand.
Okay.
Outreach is, hey, this is what we got going on. Come be a part of this.
Okay.
That's popping shit. These are the things we put in place. Who wants to join?
Okay. I'm happy I asked you
Right.
to explain because I feel like my initial thought was like braggadocious, like, oh, look what I'm doing. That's my interpretation when you were saying like popping shit, and then like you had it stunted versus you being like, oh, I'm letting you guys know what is available to you. And I understand
There's a sprinkle of that on there though.
I mean, I'm sure.
There's a sprinkle, and I've learned to embrace it
Okay.
and like sprinkle it.
Yeah.
I sprinkle it.
Yeah, sprinkle.
Humble. I'll be humble, bro. Humble was like me living in Hawaii and not flexing. I didn't flex while I lived in Hawaii. I didn't pop shit living in Hawaii.
I understand.
I did not pop shit, bro.
Okay.
I just lived. I just stayed out the way.
I understand.
I stay out the way a lot.
What? Dang. Can we look up humility?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
actually gonna do that.
Look of
We
humility.
will do that. And there's a
Because I understand the I get it, right? I understand who is behind me and what this is really going on.
Yeah.
Out the gate.
no.
Undeniable.
No, the
Undeniable.
reason I wanted to look it up is because I get in that place. It was like, you were speaking of that, and I'm like, okay, am I being humble the way I like to kind of just stay out the way? Like, I kind of want to be seen, but I like mostly just staying out the way, and I won't come out and show all these things.
Is that humble or shy?
That's what I was trying to figure out, like
Sounds like
the difference.
Yeah,
if it was like you're still doing stuff, but you being like hella low key, if that's being humble, or if when you're in the scene and people and you're like, oh, I'm bringing this and that, but you're not saying like, oh, I am the one doing this. Be like, oh, like the human. That's so. What's the definition?
Humility, noun. Freedom from pride or arrogance. The quality or state of being humble. Freedom from pride or arrogance. Let's look up humble. Humble. Not proud or
Bitch, be humble. Shout out to K-Dot.
nah, for real.
So
Wait,
smart.
be humble. Is it sit down?
Sit
Be-
down.
Down.
No, that's real, bro. That's,
down.
that's very real. Sit down. Be humble.
I think it's just like being humble is just not feeding into the ego.
See, for me, I don't see the problem with
Let
ego.
me finish this humble and then continue.
Go ahead, read the
humble. Adjective.
Uh-huh.
Not proud or howdy.
Howdy.
Yeah, that is a word, but yeah.
Howdy. Not arrogant or assertive.
See,
Or assertive.
see, I can't see. I learned to, when I'm not assertive, things don't get done. And then I'm just sitting around being
Waiting.
coy and waiting and tippy-toeing
I can
and,
understand that,
and
yeah.
playing nice and not wanting to offend nobody and not wanting to make nobody uncomfortable and just trying to minimize myself. And then it turn around and be like, I should have just been assertive in the first place.
I understand.
Right.
But I think one can be humble and assertive. At the same
Not according to the definition.
That is true.
That's true. Not according to this.
Niggas want to just know. Nah, what Webster say?
Not arrogant. It says not. No, it straight up says not arrogant or assertive.
Or assertive.
See now.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I understand.
I've learned to be I've had to learn and develop how to become assertive.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that
Look up assertive.
No, I am.
I'm assertive. I'm assertive when I need to be.
Because I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think you could be assertive and humble.
How when the definition?
That's me. No, that's how I
I
feel.
get it.
That's how feel.
I get
So
it.
I could be wrong based on
get-
definitions.
I
Based
get it.
on definition.
I'm with you because I was like,
I'm
I
a
thought it was
definitioner,
just
though.
not
Me too.
being like acting in what would be considered your ego or being too proud to just show like, oh, this is just me and I'm doing taking all the
Credit.
credit and stuff like that.
But is that
But I mean, based off of the definition.
Okay, let's get assertive.
Go ahead.
get
Adjective.
Because I got a question.
I understand. Disposed to or characterized by bold or confident statements and behavior.
Boom. Right? So, boom. Now,
Yeah, that's
it goes back to the foundational point of if I know that I'm backed by the creator of the universe and I'm backed by the infinite powers that be, and I also am well read and educated and informed when I've taken a lot of time and studying and prepare myself to say what I'm about to say, why should I, if I know that what I'm saying, I'm confident in myself because I'm number one confident in God and Allah. Number two, I'm confident in the preparation it took me to get to this level.
Understood.
Like even today, I had an interview about possibly being a cooking teacher, and the lady was like, basically like, at the end of the day, like you know your shit, you know, like you like we can say what we want to say, but like we can't say that you don't know your shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I speak confidently and I speak assertively because I know what I'm talking about. Because I've put 15 years into studying this.
You have competency in a certain area.
Yeah.
Very high level of competence.
Which allows me to become assertive.
Facts. Facts. Your assertiveness is undergirded by competency.
Yes.
And that's why great fighters act a certain way, and society bows down to them, and they allow fighters to act that way because they're like, well, you're the man when it comes to fighting, so we'll let you act that way, and we won't judge you.
Yeah. A lot of fear comes from, I learned that too.
No,
like
that's real.
A lot of fear comes from not feeling prepared. And when you feel prepared, it gives you a lot more confidence.
I feel.
Yeah.
I feel.
And like Deion Sanders, he coined the phrase, you know, when you feel good, when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you play good. When you play good, you get paid good.
Facts.
Right? And it's like a real science of like, you know, developing self-esteem and believing in a belief in yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the ego. The ego is the belief in yourself, but that ego is backed by the infinite forces. To me, like I have a big ego because I know who is behind me.
Understand.
And in front of me, and on the side of me, and in me, and above me, and in the future. Like, you know, that's why I have a big ego. But also because I believe I can do big things.
Understand.
And even when people don't believe I can do these big things, it doesn't mean I can't do these big things. I can do these big things, and I continue to do so many big things. To me, I do so much big things from my vantage point that it's kind of normalized.
Understand.
You know, of like the things I do don't seem big because I do so much big things.
Understand.
Which is why I don't be humble.
I understand.
You feel me?
I understand. I'm gonna. There's still something in me.
I feel you. That's you.
That thinks. Yeah, I understand. That thinks that it's possible to be assertive and humble, but I need to find a definition of humble that allows that, because the definition of Webster's doesn't allow for that, and it just seems right that if humility to me is. To me, it feels that humility is.
I think what it means to me is like when you do, let's say, like acts of kindness, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say an act of kindness, you feed the poor, but you don't necessarily feel the need to broadcast it.
Facts. There we go.
Like that would be like, to me, that would be an example of, you know, humility or being humble.
Yeah.
In my mindset, it wouldn't be like, I need everybody to know that I was the one that
$15.
brought all this guy. Like I gave this man right here $2 and now he was able to go buy himself a cup of coffee. That to me, I guess, is what I see as like being humble. You don't have to be the one that needs to be the face of it, but you know, and you will do the work and stuff like that, but not to say that you aren't gonna check out and allow stuff to just happen. Like you ain't gonna get paid and you ain't gonna be taken care of. You're not doing that.
See, but the thing is, a lot of times when you stay quote unquote humble and you do these things, you don't get treated at that value. Meanwhile,
But
the
then
people who are feeding the homeless in that scale and they move assertively to feed the homeless, they can actually get funded because they're competent and they know how to feed the homeless.
Okay.
Now do effectively and efficiently, and then they can go and say, hey, I need this much dollars to do this much work so I can feed this much homeless people. That's you get my context of like,
no, definitely.
That's how I view the word. Like,
Definitely.
oh yes, one thing to say I love the people and I just do it out of the kindness of my heart. It's one thing to say, hey, I actually know how to do this because it's the same feeling.
Right.
But hey, I want to be competent and I want to do this at scale and I want to do this the correct assertively so that way we can make sure that these homeless people get the food they need.
Hey.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
And I can't play with y'all and I can't be all nice and coy with y'all. I gotta be assertive with y'all so that way you can actually make sure that we can feed these people because this has to get done. That's how I look at it, right? Because the humbleness is like you don't really get supported when you just humbly doing things. You know.
I mean, I could see that.
Yeah, you feel
I could see that.
That's how, and I had to step into like
especially
assertiveness.
I think especially in where we live in and what we live in, I think it's probably a lot more difficult to be able to navigate in a more humble experience of how we would think, like not having to be overly assertive or anything. Like think of like being like a good Samaritan, right? Like that whole story of like, you know, caring for others as well as like how you would care for yourself type of thing. It's not that it's like difficult. You just have to navigate it in a different way. You can still do little things, but if you wanted to do things on a larger scale, it's a lot more difficult to navigate in that, I guess, humble mentality. But if you were just like on a day-to-day thing, just moving in that place of love and, you know, sense, like I could see how there could be that struggle.
And mind you, back to that, like my life shows I do a whole lot of things for free. Right, I do a whole lot of things where it's not like, look at me. You know, I continue to still do a whole lot of things that most people don't even know I'm doing. So that's why I don't mind being assertive or confident because I do so much on the back end that isn't on the gram. I do so much on the back end that isn't me just like walking around proud,
popping my collar.
Yeah. While at the same time, I do enough to be assertive to say stop playing with me because when I just stay humble, people just play with me. You know, people want to play. Like I said, I've done so much stuff that it becomes normalized, and then it just becomes like, oh, whatever. And then it's like, no, this not whatever.
It's not
you
whatever.
know, like this is we are really doing stuff. So
take me seriously.
Yeah.
I take myself seriously.
Yeah. And then you gotta you gotta sprinkle some game, you gotta sprinkle some, you know, some finesse and sprinkle some things.
Okay, I get you.
For the people.
I guess it's not necessarily a boastfulness. It's more so like a sense of self.
Yeah.
It's like
assertive.
Yeah. It's assertive. It's like I know who I am. I know what I do. I know what I'm capable of. You're not gonna sit there and just let me. Okay.
I mean, but I teach people we recorded after all's class and gave it for free. Like what more level of like humility is it to sit there and record somebody for months and then turn into a book and give it for free? I've done a lot of things that are what be quote unquote humble. Right? Or like humble myself around people and shrunk myself because I knew it's not about me. It's about whatever comes in the outcome.
A larger mission or something.
Yeah. But I also know there's a lot of things that's like, nah, man, stop playing. I've done way too much and I do way too much and we're developing way too much.
I understand.
You know, to let anybody play because we're doing way too much, bro. You know what's going on.
I know exactly.
It's a whole lot of shit going on, bro.
I know exactly what's going on, and I know there's a time, and I 100% agree with you. There's a time and a place for letting niggas know what you've done.
Yeah,
right.
That's it. That's all I'm saying.
That's really what
that's
it is.
all I'm saying.
And I mean that's not even humility. That's just being a proper, responsible business person and human being. It's like, okay, well, you're not gonna play with me because these are my credentials.
Yeah,
these are my credentials. This is my track record, and I think being able to speak with that, with just matter of factly and eloquently, just matter. It's really just matter of factly, as opposed to like, what's the best way to. just say like the truth.
Yeah.
Like say assertiveness. And that- it's assertive. It's assertive. I'm not gonna saying it assertively without having
all that extra energy behind it.
extra
Yeah.
bullshit with it. Just being like this is what it is. This is what we've done, and there's definitely a way that can be communicated and gets the point across, and niggas know who you are. And gets the job done.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you don't do it. I'm just saying that this is how you do it. This is how you do it.
I was just saying the context of
This is how you do it.
too much humility
I feel you.
becomes counterproductive.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And could lead to like low. It can be perceived as low self-esteem.
I agree.
No, I get it. So there are people who do a lot of big things and move in silence.
Facts, bro.
That's understandable.
Which is also no.
I like the elder dentist. The elder dentist is doing phenomenal things, and he moves in, and he's not, but he's assertive.
No, he is.
I've been on a lot of meetings with the
he's
elder,
assertive,
and the elder is assertive.
Let's be clear.
The elder is
That's a
competent
very-
and confident.
And I think honestly, our encounter with Brother Dennis is spurred this conversation, seeing how he moves, because
nice moves.
how I'm comparing him to other people that we know, and being like, man, my man is humble.
He's done way more. And got way more, and way more successful.
Facts.
And it doesn't pop shit.
He doesn't pop shit, but he just doesn't. He doesn't pop shit.
I
bro.
think he carries himself. I don't know him, but I was based off of what you guys are saying and what you guys have said is that the way he carries himself is like it. I feel like there's a certain type of people that when they walk into the room, that command that attention without needing to do anything else.
Command.
Because they know who they are. So I don't need to say anything. I don't need to tell you I've done this and this and this and this and this is why you should appreciate me. This is why you should see me. No, I stand in myself and I affirm myself. So that way when I come in front of you, you already know. I don't even need to say something to you. So if you ain't worthy, you ain't even gonna speak.
And now part of the assertiveness I learned from the elder is that how he doesn't have to like have certain conversations. That's a part of like not needing to do certain things. A part of sometimes too much humility will cause you doing things that you don't got no business doing, or having conversations, or opening yourself up too much because you want to downplay yourself.
So then now I'm still torn with the humility. I don't know if it's because of how we grew up with what it means. I'm like, I never saw it as something like a passivity.
Passive. I feel.
So that's where it's like, I'm like torn on that because I'm like, I don't, like we said, it's that commanding yourself because you know yourself. You don't need to enter in it's like the world doesn't allow those things to revolve around you because you have not created that space, because you know darn well who you are. There's certain times where, like I said, I was being called out my name. When I say out my name, I mean like they just didn't say my name correctly.
Oh, okay.
And it was because I had to look at myself. I'm like, I don't even feel like myself right now. Like I don't feel like I know myself in this space. And now people aren't coming at me like they know me. But in the times that I come as myself, people like that, like they don't honor, exactly, like they don't. There's no question.
She don't play about the ad and
Yeah, and it's like, and that day that it happened, like normally I would correct people, but I'm like, I don't even feel like I'm at that presence of being able to even correct you. Carlton's looking at like it's honor, and I was like, it's cool because right now I get the energy that they're at, and I'm like, I can't get mad at them for that. So it's like being in that experience and then having this conversation and then hearing what you guys are saying about the elder and everything, and I'm just like, oh, that's what that is. Is that presence in self and understanding who you are. You never have to explain to anybody else why you're valuable. You never have to explain to them what you have done.
Who's the elder?
What you would do. Like I said, it's just based off what you guys have said. You never have to explain yourself because there's no reason to, right? If you know yourself, there's a different way that people move. They're like, oh, I never have to explain myself, but there's a way you move. You know what I mean? And you can't be moving in such a way and never done nothing. It's the people can feel that. You know what I mean? It's that pseudo confidence and stuff like that, it's right? Somebody that will peep it. So it's like, it's just a matter of like, I feel like that humility is, I don't need to come out and tell you all this and that and type of stuff, and not even in a boastful way, but just period. I can move because I know what I have done, and I exude that
Facts.
presence in myself, and I don't need to like you said, overexert myself and stuff like that. And I know I have done that in so many spaces where I'll be like, I need you to know that I am valuable. So I am gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this, and I have to wonder, like, why did I lose myself? Why don't I know my value? Why am I struggling here? Why am I depressed, or why am I sad, or why do I feel low, and all this stuff? I'm like, oh, I just spread out my energy so far trying to get other people to see me, but in the times where I am just me,
No,
like I am just like who I was created to be, I don't need to do anything. I am seen immediately. As soon as I walk in, I could be in a distance and I will be seen and noticed.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Because that your light shines through. So I think that's the difference of like the humility and the boastfulness and the assertiveness and stuff like that. Is like I am assertive in just who I am and the way I move through. Like the sea will part. You know what I mean? Like I am just need to be there. So it's just like,
and mind you, I'm only coming from the context of like the
I got so hype. I just felt chills in my skin.
You popping shit, because that's facts. And I'm saying I'm only coming from the context of the definition,
Definitely.
Not from what I feel about the word, just from what the definition of the word. Number one, and number two, look, talking about the elder, he is a minister. So he knows where his backing is. And like I've also learned, like he's not, if you talk to him, he's very competent. Very, very, very competent and very, very confident. Now he's not boastful because he understands when you just boast about all this stuff going on, you're going to attract people that only wants to be around you for what you got going for your success, and not be down for you through all the the working. But on the flip, that same elder has a level of like love and respect for me because we on the same type of time. So it's like I know I'm not arrogant and boastful because the people who are successful don't look at me in that light. They look at me like I'm a
I think another
respectful
great way
person.
that you know that you are not that person is the people that are around you.
Exactly.
And I feel like
y'all wouldn't be around me if I was an asshole and just super arrogant and cocky.
Exactly. Bro, we wouldn't
Y'all
even
wouldn't.
be in hella no conversation. There would be no hood and healthy. Well, I mean, there would be hood and healthy. Excuse me. There would be hood and healthy. That's Temu's
Not the show.
But
not the show.
The show itself, how it's been cultivated together, like would not be moving forward.
But definitely working through y'all working through y'all, all that definitely helped me to be more assertive, diplomatic, and just be more like, I have to be okay with like what comes with leading. I have to be okay with what comes with being a quote unquote public figure. I have to be okay with making sure I speak competently. I speak confidently. No, I can't be timid or shy.
No.
You know, I have to speak of like authoritative. And also growing up and developing more of my masculine energy helps me to like be more, direct, firm, strong. So, have a foundation in my words. And that isn't always perceived or interpreted the correct way, but I've had to learn to be okay with that as I am navigating and figuring it out. But at the same time, it's okay, because even when I'm perceived like that, it's still all the work isn't denied. I might not be your cup of tea, but you know what's going on. You know, there's a lot of work being done. Whether you like me as a person or not, you don't have to like me as a person. We don't have to be friends or buddies or comrades, but it's a lot of work being done. And trying to stay humble means I want you to like me. I want you to think I'm a good person. I don't need you to think I'm a good person. I need you to respect the work I do. For me, I'd rather have you respect the work I do and not like me because I'm too assertive than like me and not respect the work I do.
Fair enough.
Right? Because I've seen both sides. I've seen what happens when people like me and don't respect the work I do, and I've seen what happens when people don't like me. I mean, people do like me but don't respect the work I do, and I'm like, oh no, I'd rather you don't. And like you know where I learned that? At the Compton Community Garden, where like, oh no, I'd much rather you respect the work I do and not like me, because keep a boundary because you respect the work I do.
Understand?
Then like me and not respect the work I do and want to be in my circle, want to be cool, kiki with me, and not really respect the work I do.
I understand.
You
I
know?
think that's the pitfall of trying to be likable to everybody.
Yeah.
But the realization is that we aren't always going to be somebody's cup of tea for whatever the reason.
Right.
It could be something minute. You could literally, your ear could be a little bit too long for somebody, and they'd be like, see, I just can't get with him. I just can't get with him. So it's like trying to form to everybody's, or trying to appeal to everybody isn't going to get you to the place that you need to be.
No.
I guess our whole goal is to be likable to, the higher source and stuff like that, to be in the place of an alignment with that. So it's like that, towards what you were saying, it would make sense. Like, hey, you have to be assertive. And working on the show, like, has definitely helped me a lot. I always thought I was that person. Like, I'd be like, oh, I could, do this and that and the other. But I realized that once I got into those situations where I was the one that had to speak up and say this, that, and the other. I could always speak up for other people, right? I could always help out somebody else. I have no problem sharing my voice. But once it came to me being the one that had to be like, oh, the voice has to come from you and stuff like that for you, I'd be like, well, you guys, do you mind? Like, and it would come up, people are like, huh? So you want me to do what? And like people wouldn't listen, or people would get confused because I'd be like navigating, going around instead of just be like, I need this done. And then it would be the times where I'd be like, I ain't got time to try to tiptoe around this. I need you to go do this. Can you go grab that? Okay, you got that? Okay, cool. And it was like the day went
like
so much smoother.
Like with your kids.
Yeah, exactly. That was literally what I was
y'all
like.
Gotta be y'all started with your kids.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
And they listen,
facts.
And they stay safe, and they stay out of control. They stay out of trouble.
I was like, and they know when I'm like, I want to be likable. I don't want to. They be pushing. They be pushing. I'm like, oh, and then as soon as it switches, I'm like, okay, so we doing that now. They be like, oh, okay, we're back. All right, never mind.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. Is that same? Yeah. Definitely being a parent and going through this experience.
The best word you've used is the word command. Mm-hmm. Command of an area, command of space. Mm-hmm. And you have that when you have knowledge of self and you operate with godliness. Mm-hmm. And what we could say without a shadow of doubt is that Dennis is a godly man.
Definitely, he's a godly man.
And it shows.
It shows,
and you see it. And he ain't the only brother. Like, there's other brothers that you just see you see God in them, right? You see the godliness, but you really see it in Brother Dennis. Yeah. And I think that
you see the love of God. You see the faithfulness of God.
Facts.
You see God is true to His word.
Facts, man. And I think just knowing that I think being faithful, knowing that God always backs you, that automatically is a level of humility, because you know that you're ultimately not responsible. It's Him that put you in that position. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So I think that is the level of humility that I'm really speaking to.
You see Asyr.
Facts. And Dennis, right?
Definitely.
Oh, bro.
Long game.
Oh, bro.
Build this up.
Oh.
Administration.
Facts.
Play the game.
That's right.
Navigate.
Facts.
Be kind.
Facts.
But then you going to come out on top.
That's right.
Big on top.
Facts.
Big on top.
And that's the thing. It's kindness.
Kind.
Very nice man.
He's very kind.
Very nice man. Very kind.
Not nice.
Very kind. No, for real.
He's very kind.
Kind. That's a good word.
But he don't play, bro. He don't play. He don't play with people.
He's assertive.
Think about lions. Like, have you ever watched them?
They're playful, or they're they're kind. They're kind to each other.
I mean, not just that, but they're very stoic for the most part, unless they're gonna go hunt, or they need to command something. You know what I mean? Or
what you mean? What's stoic mean?
Huh?
Stoic. What does that mean?
Stoic.
I've heard the word, but what does it mean?
I think it's just they're like.
No, let's not guess. Let's look.
Go ahead. Yeah. You're right.
Because I mean, I to me it means kind of ditzy.
No, not at all.
Okay, well,
watch it be like ditzy.
Free from passions.
Or is it not what we think it is?
Here it is. Not affected by or showing passion or feeling.
I think sometimes they do that.
Not affected by or showing passion.
They're basically
that's the definition.
Yeah, they're don't show your cards, you know what I mean, type of thing. They're very. So they could be chilling. I don't know. I've just seen videos. They'd be like,
Who's they in this instance?
Or the lions.
Oh, lions. That's right.
They're chilling until the time to activate.
Until it's
No,
time to
facts.
activate. Until it's time to show emotion and all that type of stuff. Like you don't. It's like how they talk about like reaction versus responding. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to be reacting. We're like constantly feel like we need to react. But it's like it's the response, right? Like we have to just be aware. Like, does this need a response? Don't need a response. Like I don't just need to like something happens and me like, oh, I need to go.
Facts.
I used to be very reactionary.
Yeah, of course.
And that was something like used to be brought up to me, and I just could not comprehend what it was being said.
Yeah.
But it's like over time through my practices and like really evaluating myself and how I moved and how interactions would occur and all that stuff, I started to realize I'm like, oh, okay, there is definitely a difference with that scenario.
Like responding and
reacting.
Yeah,
It's like
responding is calculated. Reacting is impulsive.
It's like, we were having you answer the questions, right? You read over the questions.
Yeah.
You took a moment, internalized it. I was like, okay, well, this is how, but you didn't go through it fast. You didn't be like, okay, now that I have the questions, I need to go do this.
Yeah.
It was very much like, okay, I got it. I'm processing it. All right, now this is how I feel. This is what's going on.
Yeah.
And very much like that, very much in like an ease, right? I feel like I'm responsible more like that. Like, obviously, there's times that you need to get on and pop in.
Yeah.
But that's like in our nature, like our instincts, right? Like pop off, like in danger modes and stuff like that, fight or flight.
Yeah.
I think for like a day to day, unless some people are constantly in a war zone type of scenario, you don't have to be
reactionary.
Yeah, and I think definitely going up there to Allensworth this weekend, definitely, like you got to, sometimes it's like we got to see it to see it, and like the elder was like, he just sits on his porch and likes to watch the sunset, and then to see the sunset on this beautiful 60-acre farm. It was like, this is very beautiful. But then it's also
very beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
That was very
I'd be like, so what do I be doing?
And we had 3 of my children there. Bro.
But then on the flip, when we think of like, we think it's so far, but we got the Bakersfield in what, like 20 minutes, bro? 30 minutes?
Yeah.
From Dennis' house. We got the Bakersfield in like 20-30 minutes, bro.
Oh, from Bakersfield, Dennis's house.
Yeah.
About 20 minutes.
Bro. It wasn't like so it was like, wait, it's not super astronomically away
it's
from
not
everything.
out of our thing. Like,
we got to LA in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it was like, wait a minute, this isn't
way out there.
what are we doing?
Guys,
Yeah.
you know what
It's down
somebody
the
told me?
street.
When you say that, it reminds me of a statement that somebody told me. They're like, I believe it's like everybody on Earth could fit in Texas.
Probably.
Everyone on
So-
Earth, what?
Could fit in Texas.
Oh.
It wouldn't doubt. I wouldn't doubt. It wouldn't doubt.
Of course.
I
So
wouldn't doubt.
if you think of that, right? You know how there's like, oh, I don't know. I just being mindful of that. If everybody on Earth could fit in Texas, why are we fighting over land?
Yeah.
Why are we fighting over food? Why are we fighting over space? Why are we on top of each other?
The city
Why
life.
are we crammed? Like, because we have this mentality of this is the way life is supposed to be. And if
Ought
it's
to
not
be.
like this, then you're not living.
Facts. No, for real.
And it's such the more I keep stepping back, like I used to go to Arizona and used to be like, I don't know how people live out here.
Yeah, for real.
One, it's too damn hot. You can't go outside. I'm like, I don't want to be in my house all the time. Like, I do love nature. I love green and all this type of stuff. And then and I used to be like, there's nothing out here. There's just nothing. And obviously there's a lot of people are moving there now. So there's a lot more going on. But it's like, as I drive out there now, I'm just like, whoa, the desert is really beautiful.
Yeah, for real.
Have you ever sat back and seen, like, they're known for their sunsets, but I was never one to sit there and be like, oh, because I was like,
Arizona?
it's too damn hot. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's like we were outside in a monsoon. It was supposed to be a monsoon. And we was like in the pool, like right before until the rain started, because it was just so warm that you could be in the pool. And I was just like, but the warmth just kind of made you feel like, obviously you didn't want to do too much because probably get dehydrated. But like, it was like, I felt like a lizard that just wanted to just sit back, just lay there and not worry about doing anything or being about anything. Not a laziness, but like a calm, tranquiliness, right?
Would you ever?
I don't think tranquiliness is a word, but like
Would you ever like relocate to Arizona?
I don't think I could just because
tranquility.
it's too hot.
It's too
Being
hot.
tranquil, yeah,
Tranquility.
it's too hot for me.
Yeah, I feel
that
it.
like you know what I mean. Like it, but it did get me used to like the heat wave that we had. I was able to like deal with that and be outside and be okay as long as I wasn't in like direct sunlight where the sun's like piercing you. I was okay, and people were like, "Oh my God, it's so hot." I was like, "I'm actually chilling. This is actually not too bad because I know it gets worse in some places." So just having certain mindsets of like, something else could be the alternative, kind of like gets you in a different mindset. But all back to everybody fitting in Texas. Why are we fighting? Why are we on top of each other? It's just coming back to that place of like, people don't know how to relax.
I understand.
Yeah.
For the longest time, didn't know what that meant. I thought I'd be like, oh, well, I'm sitting down, I'm relaxing. No, my mind was going, and all the time I'm like, why are you sitting down? You should be getting up. You should be doing this. You should be doing that.
Stimulation.
So much stimulation. For what purpose? And then when I wasn't doing anything, I would feel like I would have to be on my phone.
Yeah.
I would have to be doing this and all that type of stuff. That like trying to relax was more stressful than me just going out and doing stuff.
For real.
And it's just like, so that's what
Because
it's all
the guilt comes in, the shame comes in, because you just like if you don't have everything together, if you don't have everything all together, then it's like we
But
can't.
when are you ever gonna have everything all together?
I mean,
Because
mind you,
perfection does not exist.
I understand. I just understand how the mind works too. Because we don't have everything
I was
together,
in
then
agreement
the
with what you were
mind
saying.
the mind is like you can't you don't deserve to relax.
Exactly.
Facts. No, that's
You don't deserve to feel good.
Boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
That's
because
actually
you're not
huge.
perfect. You go, yeah. No.
But
that's
then,
exactly
but I'm
what it
like,
is.
where does that come from?
Shame, guilt,
Yeah.
No, but I'm like, where does that shame and guilt? Like, where is that stemming from? Like,
humility. I'm just playing.
bring it way back. No, but like that. I mean, that to me it would be programming.
Yeah,
there we
Because
go.
there's
That's the
at
answer.
one
Good answer.
time that
Good answer.
people did live in tribes. People did farm. You hunted to eat, but not being excessive.
Yeah.
You gave thanks for the things that you got, and you took time to give that thanks and appreciation.
Facts.
You gave gifts.
real.
You took care of one another, right? You took care of your elders. You took care of the children. Everybody was there helping one another. Like, where did this sense of needing to take or wanting, I want that, so I'm gonna go get that, I'm gonna go get this, and then I'm gonna do that, and then now we're gonna build this up. Like, can we realistically say that people are happier now than we were before? If there's like 50% of marriages and divorces, if there are people that are murdering, stealing, and like, there's people that don't have food, like, can we really say that this whole dynamic is working better for us
No.
than being at a place of more peace and where people could be like, well, I don't have to slave away on it every day? Would people be more angry or less angry if they got
facts.
go and sit and see a sunset? Most people are in an office space or inside and don't get to see what a sunset looks like, because by the time they get out, it's gone.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
But
Or even rise up with the sun. Like, it's
that's
just,
why we doing the work that we need to
Exactly.
do. That's why
Talk to 'em.
that's why I be assertive, because I do understand the reality of our condition of where we are right now. And I've seen, not only have I seen it, but I'm actively involved in what is coming
Facts.
on so many different levels.
No, we're reconfiguring society, bro.
On a lot of levels. A lot of levels.
What we're doing is not. It's
I mean, you
very real.
you wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't be able to sit back and be quiet and not do and move quietly in order to shake up things.
Yeah, like we got to be harbingers. Like,
Mind you, there is not just a balance, but I think there's like the people that are doing that quietly, and then there's the people that need to be boisterous.
Yeah.
And I think everybody just plays a role in intermixing with each other to build up to this point.
yeah, like I look at like we got to be the harbinger. We got to be John the Baptist and Jesus, right?
Can you tell me the story of John the Baptist?
John the Baptist was Jesus' big cousin who
Okay.
also grew up with the men of nature and understood his position. His position is to go be the harbinger. His position is to go let everybody know that Jesus coming and prepare the way. Harbinger. So
Harbinger.
Harbinger.
Something that foreshadows a future event.
Yes.
Something that gives an anticipatory sign of what is to come.
exactly.
Is that a would be considered a
AKA,
yes.
AKA
Yeah, more or less.
outreach, right? AKA
Okay.
outreach, AKA go let the people know, hey, this is we are building the industry of agriculture. We are creating equity. We are actively rebuilding not only our own towns, but we are rebuilding our own infrastructures, our own ecosystems, our own industry. And we are actively a part of creating new laws, bills, grant programs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this is what's going to be here for everybody. This isn't just what I'm going to benefit from. This is what we are working on, building businesses, building organizations, building networks, building collaborations, laws, bills, task force, committees, right? All this is happening. Hey, y'all, who wants to be a part of all this that's happening? And then as we telling people this is what's happening, also build it. And then also come back and say, all right, it happened. Let's go. Let's do it. So that's, I see we doing both. And the harbinger part, it can't be timid. It can't be like, oh, we're like, no, man. Allenberg got $40 million. Who's trying to go? The elder Dennis got $10 million. Who's trying to go learn how to be a farmer? He got a full plan. He gonna break it down. He gonna build a dorm. He got this, and this. Who wants to go be a farmer? We building our Sears Bridge. We gonna connect you to the food system. Who wants to do? We got Sacramento going up. Who wants to be a farmer? Or who's a farmer who needs land? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're actively a part of like doing it, and we've been telling, we've been preaching it for over a year, and now it's coming to fruition. I've been saying this last year, and then it didn't work out, but everything we said we was gonna do last year.
No. What are you talking about? It's working out.
It didn't work out last year.
No. It wasn't supposed
what I
to
said
happen
was,
that way.
I know, I understand that. That's my point. I was saying it last year like it's gonna happen last year.
Oh, okay.
It didn't come last year.
2021?
It came this year.
Bro, you at no point in 2021 did you think this shit was gonna happen. In 2021?
Oh no, the way I was talking, the way I was feeling with Rosa, I was
Oh no,
feeling
the
like,
conversation with us, yeah.
I thought it was gonna be. I thought
End of bro, this conversation it started in October last year.
August. I started in August. I started in July. Remember, I started in July, August.
But that
Right,
doesn't-
wrong, or
But that
indifferent.
doesn't even make sense with the budget cycle.
I
Bro.
know. I'm not. I
No, but
understand
he was just
that.
saying where his thought process and was.
Yeah, like
at
that.
time.
However,
In his mind, that's what it was.
right,
gonna
wrong,
happen.
or indifferent. I
it made
believed
sense
it would
or not,
happen
is
a
it-
lot sooner.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But how? No, you. I'm saying you didn't.
I did
No,
believe
he
it
did.
would happen a lot
He
sooner.
did.
I
But-
He
did.
did.
In your mind back then, how was that going to happen though?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
He don't know.
Like I don't
Because
remember
we
these.
got
I don't
our-
remember you talking about these plans.
No.
We would have talked.
Remember, the whole point was that we was acting like we was saying the CDFA is holding the money. They need to release the money.
Oh, that game.
That was the first. That was the first.
He was
that
like,
was the
"Oh,
first
we were
part.
having them conversations.
But we didn't think they was gonna get it in 2021 though, bro. That was
Yes, I did.
really. Oh damn.
We was planning on getting land and starting this up in August, bro. You sleep, bro. We was trying to get it going.
You niggas was. I was like, I never.
No, no. Because I specifically
2021.
remember coming to the podcast and hearing, "We got land. We gonna get the land."
Facts. I remember that.
Yeah.
And isn't that what we're talking about?
So yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
I
It just
visited.
didn't. It didn't go how I thought it was
expected,
going to
yeah.
go, but it that's a part of being a harbinger.
I feel you.
It's
bro.
like, hey, the good, and you know, like the good news. Push the good news.
I feel you.
Push the kingdom. The gospel is coming. Okay, yeah, it might not come when we wonder how you want it, but we got to push the gospel.
I feel you. But yeah, no, because this time last year it was 2021. It was when I went to go see the land this time last year. The land this time last year. But I never. I mean, even I knew we were gonna get it in 3 months, bro. You know what I mean? And I don't think
That was the way we was pushing the issue.
I,
Right, wrong, or indifferent. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm not.
we were gonna shake down the CDF.
Yeah, that was the.
That's exactly
that was
what
like don't like that was the that was the type of time we was on.
that was the type of time we were put on. Let's be
Yeah,
very
right,
clear
wrong,
about
or different.
that.
Honors and respect to the elder.
Very clear.
He set a fire in us that he set a spark in us that created a wildfire
Babe, okay, you know what?
that he couldn't contain. He didn't have the vacuum for the wildfire he
Hell
created.
No, bro. And I'm
But
still
he
operating on
definitely
those fire. I'm
set a spark in us.
facts, bro. Facts. Well,
that set a fire, and he said shake them down, and we might not have shook them down, but we did.
we shook up the agricultural industry in the state of California.
Bro, let's be very
be very
clear.
clear.
In America,
You're right, bro.
On a national level,
Facts, bro. Facts. No, you're right. Okay. Yeah. No, yeah, we were on very urgent. Damn, we were on super urgent.
super urgent. This was my full-time job before I received a penny for it.
Facts, man. Yeah. And, it ultimately worked out in our favor.
Ultimately,
And we're still operating on that urgency.
Ultimately,
Thank the good Lord.
I
Thank the
do.
Lord. Yeah.
But that comes from that last year. I have to be more assertive. I was too humble last year.
When were you too humble, though?
I wasn't getting paid. And I was believing in the dream. I was in the dream world. That was a part of like not really disengaging until I could make this beat make sense.
No. Were you humble or were you emotionally vulnerable and being taken advantage of?
A little bit of both. A lot of bit of both. A lot of bit of my dad just died.
Your dad just died, and someone saw you as a bright shining star that could be manipulated and used. Sorry, bro. I'm not gonna have you chalk that up to humility. I'm gonna have that chalked up to someone seeing you, someone using your energy for his or her own purposes, bro.
Hey,
I'm not.
It didn't.
You don't need to chalk that up to humility. That's literally what.
Listen,
happened.
it didn't.
Father passed. Someone saw in you a bright shining light and a good starling reputation and naivety in a certain realm, and decided to use you for their own objectives. That has nothing to do with your humility, bro.
I understand that.
But I think, with humility, it's like now this conversation is like, yeah, and it's when it's time to be assertive, it's time to be assertive.
Hey, it's time to be assertive now.
No, for real. And we are, because you can't be assertive and reconfigure society. You can't not be assertive and reconfigure society.
You have to be competent and confident.
And then the only thing what we've learned from the elder is this: operate with the full awareness of who we're being backed by, and all praises due. But still be assertive within that vein, within that mode, in the mode of God.
Yeah,
that's how you move. And also having here we go. Having humility to realize that it's not going to happen on your time.
Boom.
That's what and that you said it with a long game.
Yeah.
And having humility allows you to see that life is a long game because it's on God time, and God time is infinite, and we're not on our time, we're on his time. So humility allows you to see things from outside of your own perspective.
I respect that.
And that's really where I think Dennis comes in.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't know according to the definition of the word.
Oh, I feel you.
Yeah,
I feel you.
yeah.
Is the elder humble, or is the elder strategic? Is the elder have foresight? Is
Wise,
the elder
strategic?
Is the elder
All of
diplomatic?
Facts.
Right? Is the elder knows how to navigate and how to have restraint?
Facts.
How to be very in command of his energy, be in command of where he gives his attention, be in command of who he actually is, who he opens up to.
Facts.
And what positions he puts people in.
Very true.
Right?
Yeah, very true,
I
man.
think
So-
it's like that accountability.
Yeah.
Having a sense of accountability too. There's tons of people that don't got any sense of accountability.
Accountability to themselves or accountability to what you promised to others, or both?
I mean, both. I feel like I think in turn, when you have stuff for yourself, you tend to have it for other people. So if you have a sense of accountability, right? The way you move, you're accountable for all those movements.
Facts.
So you put a lot more thought in how you move about things.
Facts.
So
Facts.
whether that's
Facts.
in interactions or actual actions.
Facts. And
That's facts.
that's facts.
Because that's how we observing the elders and learning from the elders and seeing how one
Which is how it's supposed to go. We're
denied
supposed to learn.
one denied accountability.
Facts. But
One accepted so much accountability that he was, like you said, he moved with I have to be accountable, while one moved with I'm not going
I'm
to be
not
accountable.
for anything at all.
I'm really
No, for real. I'm going to deny accountability whenever opportunity I get. Ironically, we're dealing with two people who proclaim Christian ministers, but it's interesting. We had to see.
it's
I think it just shows you that there's this different type.
Very different type. But we needed to see.
which is based on trauma,
But
Facts.
a lot of trauma, and how you navigate through that trauma,
Facts, man.
and how you continue to create realities that bring about more of that trauma.
And we needed to see, because you and I, we've always had a pretty healthy respect for Christianity.
Healthy respect.
We have our jabs, obviously.
Yeah. Healthy respect.
But given our experience with one who is involved in that space and a Christian minister, that definitely, at least with my point of view, it definitely tainted my perception of people who are quote unquote Christian ministers. This weekend, it humbled me to the point to where I can't be making assumptions about people's religious faith alone. You know what I'm saying?
I've never. It did. None of them swayed how I look at.
That's real, bro.
Of these institutions or these religious beliefs, because at the same time, there's a level of that's your religious belief system.
Facts.
But there's also a level of competency
Facts.
and self-awareness and strategy
Facts.
and professionalism and business skill set. You know what I'm saying?
bro.
And diplomacy that. No, I'm not going to say has nothing to do with these religious belief systems, but ultimately isn't based in these religious belief systems.
That's more of who you are.
Yeah.
No, for real, bro.
Yeah, how all this is all this.
Facts, bro.
And all this is all. These are these characters and these attributes and these characteristics and attributes. The Bible. They're all riddled in. They're all Christianity is all of it.
It's all of it.
It's all of it.
You're right.
So,
and I think, given that we do bump into people who just call themselves Christians, the big takeaway with me and probably for you is the fact that not even worrying about that label, not even allowing it to affect judgment on the person, and instead of looking up their command in a space, their competency in an area of knowledge, and then judging them based on that.
Yeah, I look at Christianity as a child of the middle nature. So I don't look at Christianity in a negative light. I look at it as a child of the middle nature that was taken. If you take a child, if somebody takes me as Dwayne and Betty's son, and then tells me that I'm actually my father's name is Dwayne. If somebody takes me as Dwayne and Betty's son, and then tells you that I'm actually not Dwayne and Betty's son, that I am, Billy G and Susie Lou, son, and now you approach me through the lens of Billy G and Susie Lou, and not ever really look at me as Dwayne and Betty's son.
Yeah. Okay.
So it changes your whole entire context of how you even interact with me. As opposed to, actually, I'm Dwayne and Betty's son, and I come from Dwayne and Betty.
Facts.
And Dwayne and Betty are all throughout me.
Facts.
And from the top to the bottom. As opposed to, that's Susie Lou. That's Susie Lou's son.
I
I
understand.
was thinking of like the difference between judgment and observation as well. I think we go different things that we're taught in this society is an observation. You look at the clues, you look at the different things, and then you come to a conclusion.
Yeah.
Versus we tend to just have one context of something and then just jump to completely saying, "Oh, I completely know this," and now I place judgment on it.
Boom.
And I think that's where we fall short a lot of times, because from what I've been told, we ain't supposed to be judging. So every time we start finding ourselves judging, we need to call ourselves back.
Facts.
Because if we're judging them, it was like every time you pointing fingers at somebody else, you pointing fingers at yourself. So it's like you got to look and see, where are these things that I'm finding negative judgment on somebody else, and where am I probably finding them within myself that now I'm pushing onto somebody else. And like I said, through our conversations, stuff like that, knowing that we are not just one singular thing. We have a lot of different contexts to us, and though we might cover ourselves with one veil, like I could say I'm a teacher, and people would just be like, "Oh, you're a teacher, so you must be kind. Oh, you must love to teach. You must love doing this. You must love reading," and have all this judgment, all this thought process, and accumulated assumptions of who I am. And I could be selling drugs on the side. I could be teaching a child molester. Like I could be doing all sorts of different stuff. And you're just this is what you're looking at me for, like that face value, but never wanted to interject. Or even like if oftentimes we see homeless people you won't sit there and technically like want to sit and have a conversation, right? Because we already have in our minds of
judgment.
who that judgment of who they are, how they got there, and all this type of stuff. And sometimes, yes, sometimes people put themselves in certain situations, just like with anything. But there are other times that things have happened that have put people in a certain trajectory, and they just couldn't see a way out of it, and now they're here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
definitely.
And like
Life happens real fast.
real fast, right? Especially when things feel like they're tumbling. So it's like we just have to be aware, like, are we making observations? And then from those observations, we're like, okay, now that we've collected all that information, we're basing it on the person's character versus just what they told us that they were.
Yeah, facts.
So it's like, it's just being mindful of that. Because sometimes we just take people as they say they are as face value, and we are completely wrong or tricked. So we have to be very, 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 very careful with how we move, and that's the accountability. That's when you learn lessons. When you're accountable, I feel like you learn lessons.
You're willing to learn.
You're
lessons.
willing to learn lessons.
Yeah, facts.
When you're not accountable, there is no lessons to learn for you. Everything is happening to you.
Boom, you're a fucking victim, and you're really annoying. Seriously, right?
Yeah,
no, it's just annoying.
It's a
Dealing
spiral.
with that shit is it was annoying, dude. It was annoying. It's like, bro, like you're first of all, you're just talk. And you're not
Judgment.
taking responsibility for
I
anything.
know, but judgment, because you don't know why they're like that.
I don't.
It matters greatly because a lot of
we
times
missed the
the reason,
lessons.
yes,
Facts. No,
The observation.
yeah, because a lot of times the reason that our people are like that is because maybe their parents were not very kind to them. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of stuff was happening to them. So they were, in sense, that victim. So that's how they move through the world. So it's not to say that like people cannot adjust, people cannot change. It's just things are happening into the world that they were created in such a way. So we just have to acknowledge that it's not just how like my dad used to say, it's not just in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Facts.
People aren't just acting this way just to act this way.
Yeah.
Right, no,
You know what I mean?
In context
So it's like,
with that,
but you don't have to deal with them.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying,
I was about to go say,
you don't have to deal with them.
Yeah, exactly.
But just being mindful, like just to remind ourselves, we don't need to place judgment. If I just feel like you too whiny, you're too this, I just don't have to associate with you.
I've learned.
I'm not the one to teach you the lesson.
I've learned to have healthy boundaries.
Yes.
To keep myself accountable.
Yes.
And because I've learned the lessons from the observations and removing the judgment, it's easier to coexist, but still not overdo or not step into the boundaries or not stepping beyond my boundaries because I know what comes with going beyond my boundaries. And then staying assertive of like, no, these are my boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, no, actually, these are the boundaries.
Facts.
It's good. We all good. But I have learned the lessons, and I have to make sure that I do stay accountable, so that way I don't put myself in a situation where I'll be frustrated and be flustered and be drained. You know, and then redirect energy to where it's actually useful, to where people treat me for my value.
Facts.
You know, and not use my value to push their thing, but want to not want to tap into my value and then bring me for more value or equal value for the value.
Put you in a platform to increase your value.
Yeah.
While at the same time using your value to push whatever the other person got going on. That's teamwork. That's being a team player.
Yeah.
Right. That's how teams work. Everyone takes advantage of each other's value, and collectively your value is better than the individual parts. So
Boom.
yeah. And I think what I had this past month, I've had a good experience with not making judgments or having made the mistake of making judgments and getting humbled by doing that. So this is a anecdotal story about, it involves my Imani, my oldest daughter's school friend, Julieta, and her parents, namely her father. I met him for the very first time at this children's birthday party at like they cook. They all cook together. It's cute. They all like cook pizza together and they eat the food that they make. It's actually a really good concept. Like the birthday party is just children cooking together and
That's
making something.
actually sounds super
really,
dope.
really good idea.
Yeah.
Really, really good idea.
Super good.
So ran into him at the party. Didn't know that specifically that this man who is the father of my daughter's what's it called? Schoolmate? What's schoolmate? Is that what do you call it?
Classmate.
Classmate. Thank you. Classmate. Yeah, my daughter. Yeah, peer. Classmate. Didn't know, but he was just like very nice to me. And I was rocking the chains and he was just like complimenting. He's like, dude, that's really cool. And he kept like asking me. And I had just got back from that conference I went to for the co-op in Madison, Wisconsin. So I was kind of like just like all over the place, and like I was all over the place. My children were there, but he was really like not even like feeling me. He's like, "Oh, bro, like you're a dad. I see you with 3 children. Like you're cool, man. I want to get to know you." And I was kind of like, I didn't give him like you the lame treatment, but I was just like, "Man, bro, why are you talking to me?" You know, like not being open to like, "Hey, there's a nice man who's also a father at this party. He just wants to talk. Stop being an asshole."
Yeah, for real.
You feel me? You feel me? Like,
for
just
real.
like
I mean, it's their birthday party too. I'm like, I'm trying to get to know you. Why is this guy here? He ain't even talking to me. Antisocial?
Yeah, no, I wasn't antisocial, but I was just like I had some haterade in my mind. Like, why is this not like, bro? Like, I'm not kind of like I'm too cool to talk to another dad. Some bullshit.
no, I
bro.
get
Just
it.
some bullshit. You get what I'm saying, bro? Like just some bullshit.
got
Jet lag,
Well, that too, but also just like
irritability,
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah. Irritability. But homie was just trying to like. He's like, bro, I like rocks. What are those crystals? That's cool, man. Like being genuinely interested in me as a human being, and I answered him, but I was kind of like dismissive. And eventually, I opened up and like was like, okay, we could have a conversation about where I'm from. He said he was something about digging rocks in New Mexico, right? So cool. I was like, all right. Didn't really remember his name. Didn't really remember the fact that he had told me that our daughters were classmates. I was too busy in my own universe, not giving a damn about a very nice man. So flash forward like month and a half later, and I'm picking my daughter up from school, Imani up from school, and the same man, he comes up to me like, "Oh, hey man," like very friendly, like he knew me because we met and he told me his name. We did all that, and I did the whole shtick where you pretend like you know who this person is. You feel me? And I'm like, "Oh hi, yeah," and like because he was talking to me like he knew me, and I didn't remember him because I was too busy being a dick, a low key dick. I was too busy at that party being a dick. I didn't remember this very nice man who was asking about my crystals, and very nice, and he was very inquisitive and asking like what's going on. We got to talking about agriculture.
Bless you.
Told him about told him about what we do, right? And he was like, once again, very, 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 very interested in what we got going and what I'm doing. And I was like, from that conversation, I didn't put together that was a dude from the party. I was just like, this is a very nice man who's very interested in me, and he's cool. Maybe we'll get to know it. Maybe we'll get to know each other. And then, the next week, like my wife tells me that, oh, by the way, Julieta's parents, this man and his wife are gonna pick up Imani and take her home to go swimming after school. And I was like, oh, it's that one guy from the place that it was that one guy that talked to me at school. I didn't realize it was the initial guy that was very nice to me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. I'll go pick them up. Pick her up after they go swimming at his house, right? The guy that I talked to after school that I didn't remember who he was, but he really liked me, right?
Yeah.
So I go that night. I go to their house, Julieta's parents' house, Ariel and what's her name? Ness Gonzalez. I go there, and it's a nice place down the street in South Pasadena, and we kick it for the night. And let me be very clear, like when I get there, this man is cool. Like this ain't like it's like some lame, bro. Like I was being like the fact that I didn't see how cool this dude was when he was like hollering at me like the first time is my bad. Like I was being in my own shit. And also making assumptions that, like, for some reason, that because you're older than me or not in the, I don't know, whatever bullshit I was.
Whatever,
you
bro.
know, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever
I'm just
bullshit.
some nigga, you was on nigga shit.
I was some nigga shit,
You
bro.
some nigga
I was
shit.
on nigga shit,
I get
bro.
it. Niggas just be anti. Sometimes niggas just don't
for
be
real.
really just
No.
wanting to like talk about.
Sometimes we be putting our own obstacles
Yeah.
in our way, so we
For
don't have to.
real.
And it's like I just don't feel like
Yeah,
it.
Nice
yeah.
man,
Sometimes you just really don't feel like having like an in-depth conversation with people.
For real, bro. Yeah. So
And
it's low key nigga shit, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Unnecessarily antisocial.
Yeah.
So we get there, and like my man's like, he's got a record player. He's got hella records. I love records. All of those records, like my genre. I see like a fly fishing book. My nigga fly fishes. I fly fish, and I'm like, it took me like 5 minutes in this conversation to realize this nigga cool as fuck. This nigga is me. He's big bro.
Yeah,
I would say he's got three. My man's got 3 children. Three children, the same ages as my children, right? And he's cool. We got the same hobbies. He grew up in fucking Texas. We grew up in the same part of the country. He's like 5 or 6, 7 years older than me. So it's like brother, like Elo, bro. He's big bro.
Yeah.
Super big bro. Which is the energy that you and I both need and like in our lives.
Always, bro.
It's perfect. It's so
always-
nice.
always need
It's
big bro.
necessary. So once I realized he was cool as fuck, and I was like, oh, dude, man, you're cool, man. Then I realized, oh, shit, you was that one nigga. You was that one nigga that was being really cool to me, and I was being a dick, right? So, like, once I realized that, I was like, bro, my bad. I didn't realize you were that dude from that one time. Like, bro, fuck yeah, man. Let's go fly fishing. Let's listen to records. Our daughters are playing. It was like bro hour, like super bro. Our children is beautiful. A Mexican, like they're like Chicanos, so born Mexicans, but born in America from southeast Texas. So my daughters were kicking it. Our daughters and son, 6 children kicking it. Their wife was like watching them, and and his wife's mom was with them. So they were all like, and the bros were just kicking it downstairs, looking at records. It was nice. It was nice, bro. It was like bro cave.
Yeah, bro.
It's nearly nice.
Yeah.
Big bro, like taking me in, like, hey, bro, I see you're single father. Like, no, let your children play. Let's kick it.
Yeah.
Like on real, on like, let's kick it time.
Yeah,
and I
bro.
forgot what that's like.
forgot.
I forgot. I completely forgot that it's like niggas just. It's nice to just kick it with dudes, shoot the shit, listen to records. And I used to drink beer. That's when I would really just listen to records, drink beer. That used to be my thing. I used to love that, but I didn't drink beer. We just kicked it, and then we just shoot it, and then eventually he gets to talking about church, like to test like where I was, and I was like, oh yeah, no, you don't gotta shy away with the God's talk, bro. Like, you know who you talking to, bro? But yeah, he started talking about faith, and we started like going like heavy in the God talk, heavy in the God talk.
And you like, oh, this is super big, bro.
I was like, oh, this is super big, bro.
Yeah.
And not only that, like, instead of, I'm usually in that post of like bringing the God talk. My man was bringing smoke.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was like preaching to me, bro. And not only, he was preaching like the shit that I needed to hear at that specific point in time. And I was like, bro, like, you know, you getting anointed right now to speak to me right now. And he's like, yeah, well, this is what I do. And I'm like, bro, he was speaking to me as if like I wasn't. He didn't know where I was, so he was just like, he was taking a risk, like to actually like speak that. I'm like, bro, you could lean in with this, bro. This is where I live.
Yeah.
So he did. We leaned in, and then and I was like, oh, that night ended up me being him. Like, oh, this is the bro. This is big bro. And not only that, it's like now I've got a family that's literally like look at like they see where I'm at. They see me like 3 children by myself. They're like, bro, we got you. Like, just if you need us to pick her up, we got you. We got you. We got you. And they invited us to their church called Christian Assembly in Eagle Rock. And my daughter told me I want to go to church. And instead of being a hater, like I was with her, Julietta's dad, I was like, no, we going to church.
Yeah.
We go to church. So we went with their family, all 3 of my children, and them to their church on a Saturday night, probably 5 weeks ago or a month ago. And it was the best experience ever. Like me and the big bro, we went to church, sat together, and his wife watched one of the children's classes of my youngest 2 and her middle child. And my children, I've never seen them so happy, bro. Like they were literally like running to the church classroom. They were like glowing after the church children's class at church. Yeah. And and then afterwards we went out and got some to eat. And and then now like on Saturday nights, if we aren't doing that, we go to church with that family, bro.
I mean,
That's
what
what
else?
it is.
I mean,
That's what
I
it
think
is.
that's the best thing
That's
you
what
should
it
do.
is. That's what it is.
as opposed to
Being a hater.
as opposed to do what I'm doing on Saturday night.
I understand. Yeah. But it's the whole sorry, it's a long story.
No, I get the
But
we
you
get
get
the,
the story,
good
though, right?
story. Like,
It's a good story.
don't make judgments.
Don't make judgments.
And get out of your own way.
Get facts, bro.
And be open, because you forget, like, we be so closed up, we forget, like, we do need a community. We need tribe.
Facts, bro. People that just look out for you, and that's
it.
That's like, and my children like run to their mother and like they love her. They love her. I'm like, man, I don't see you like that with anybody. And I'm like, man, okay, God sent this family to me.
Amen.
You feel me? God sent. He's like, bro, like, no, I got you, dog. Like, just keep doing your thing, but don't think you out here alone. Just because you're a single father right now, don't think like, bro, I got you. Just have faith and realize not everyone is gonna come to you in the envelope that you think.
Yeah, facts.
Right.
Right.
No.
It's 1 o'clock. I think that's a great conclusion. I think that's a beautiful conclusion. Great story.
All right, yeah. Anna, you got anything else to say?
I think that was a great conclusion. I think it tied that important all together.
Yeah.
About judgments. I'm happy you guys went to church.
No,
I'm happy that you guys had such a beautiful experience.
I forgot. No, I mean, I love church.
Anna came with the bars.
Yeah, she did. You did. No, I have got nothing absolutely against church. I just have, I guess my thing is like, make sure you're doing the work.
I just don't go. Church is a very emotionally evoking for me.
For real?
And it's very triggering. It's a very triggering place and emotionally evoking at the same time.
I understand. Like even the church that you grew up in?
Exponentially triggering.
Okay, I understand.
Exponentially triggering. Super triggering.
Why?
I don't want to talk about that right now.
I feel you.
We'll be here till 3 o'clock in the morning. If I talk about why church is triggering.
I feel you. Yeah.
You know?
All right.
Maybe next episode. Stay tuned. Come back next week and we'll talk about why church is triggering for me.
I understand. But yeah, I guess shout out to Christian Assembly Church.
Shout out to Christian Assembly Church.
Shout out to Christian
And the family.
Assembly Church. Yes, sir. All right. I'll close it out. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, and Master of the Day of Judgment. Thee alone do we serve. Thee alone do we beseech for divine aid. Guide us on the right path, the path upon whom thou hast bestowed favors, not upon whom thy wrath has been brought down, nor upon those who go astray. Ameen.
Islam.